And let's do it. We're live. Hi, everybody. It is Skip Happens. My name is Skip Clark. I am the host of Skip Happens. Thanks for checking in with us here tonight. And as you know, I talk to a lot of the artists, the new artists, the independent artists, the superstars. We get them all on Skip Happens. Tonight, no exception to any of that. Check this out. As a matter of fact, we're probably so close I could reach out and, well, not really. I'm in the North Syracuse area. She's in the western suburb of Syracuse. But it's an honor to have her. Sidney Irving is joining us here tonight on Skip Happens. Sidney, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this. I know we wanted to get you into the pod zone, but anybody that's from the Northeast knows how quick our weather changes. It's a little cray-cray right now from what I understand, and it's going to get worse as we get into the nighttime a little bit more. But how are you?
Well, first off, I want to say thank you so much for having me today. It's such a pleasure to talk with you. The weather got really crazy really fast. Otherwise, I would totally be there right there with you.
I know the pod zone. Matter of fact, I ran the vacuum last night. I did some dusting. I cleaned it all up. I said, Sydney's coming over. We got to get this pod zone in shape. But no, it's all good. No,
I feel
I'm only
bad.
kidding. No. But we will get you in here someday. And I have a full podcast studio, the voiceover studio, and I even have a vocal booth, for some
Oh,
voiceover work. So it's pretty cool. But
that's awesome.
let's talk about you a little bit. Growing up here in central New York, where Skip Happens is, how did growing up in Syracuse shape you as the artist that you are today?
Well, for me, growing up in Syracuse, I really love Syracuse. I think it's a
Mhm.
great city. And I grew up at my family's business, which is a skate park and roller rink. So I was running around the ramps and everything, and I would listen to music with my family. My family, just huge music lovers. So listen to absolutely everything. When I was about 10, no, younger, when I was about 7 years old, I really got into Taylor Swift. And I absolutely fell in love with her album Speak Now, which I think came out in like 2010.
Mhm.
And so for my ninth birthday, my family surprised me with a guitar, and it was a white Ibanez electric guitar.
Oh my
And I didn't ask for a guitar, so it sat in the corner for a couple of months until I started guitar lessons when I was about 10. And I started sitting down on my bedroom floor and writing songs, and I just fell in
Mhm.
love with it.
Mhm. Taylor Swift. I tell you, it was a lot earlier than 2010, but I gave her one of her first radio interviews.
Wow.
I still have it, and someday I'll have to upload it and get it online. But I also have it's right over there. Well, if you're here, you would have seen it. Um, the thank you card from her when she came to the radio station that I was working at that time with her mom and the record label rep, and it was just a memory that it's something I'll never forget. It was just so cool. And I look at where she is now and the woman that she has become and just everything about her from the marketing to her music to just everything is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And other people need to follow those same footsteps. Some may not
Absolutely.
agree with me, but I can tell that you're a big fan. So
Well, I think she's a wonderful businesswoman and she writes a mean song, you know?
no, she does. She does. Have you been to one of her shows?
I have. I went to the Red Tour,
Ah,
which was amazing. And actually, when I went and saw her on the Red Tour, we stayed in the same hotel that the band was staying in. And I think her parents were staying there too, because I met her dad in the elevator. And that was really cool. I got to meet a couple of her bandmates.
mhm,
And
mhm.
I also saw her on the 1989 tour as well.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, what about I was reading in your bio, and somebody else had told me as well that you're kind of influenced by a little bit of Tom Petty, some of that.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big Tom Petty fan. I just absolutely love his songwriting, and I think he is just the definition of cool. Like, if you look up the word cool in the dictionary, Tom Petty pops up.
Mhm.
Um, I I love his album Highway Companion. That's one of my all-time favorites, and then Wildflowers as well. I love reading all the different things about how Wildflowers was made. It's so interesting.
Very cool. Very cool. God rest his soul, man. I'll tell you, a lot of great music, no doubt. Cindy, do you remember maybe a particular moment when you realized that music could be more than just a passion, but you're making a career out of that? When did that come about?
Well, I don't know. I think I always just in my head was like, I'm gonna do music. You know, in school when they're like, oh, like we're gonna do a project and you're
Hmm.
gonna say what you want to be when you grow up. For some reason, even before I started writing songs and playing out and everything like that, I always put down singer. I don't know what it was, but I was like, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen. And so that's me. That's it's just always been in my brain.
And you've created such a name for yourself because we see you on television. We're hearing a lot about you. I know Channel 9 here locally did just a great thing with you. It's just getting out there. How about your first trip to Nashville? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh, I just love Nashville. I actually went with my mom on a trip when I was 12 years old,
Mhm.
and we went and did all the sightseeing and everything because I always told my mom, I was like, I'm gonna be a musician and I want to go to Nashville and it's gonna be so great.
I love it.
So she was like, well, why don't we do a little trip? So we went and we went to Graceland, which is in Memphis, but then we walked around Nashville and we got Goo Goo Clusters, which all-time favorite. They're so good.
Oh yeah.
But I went down to Nashville within the last it was I think last year or the year before. I think it was the year before. And I was so blessed to be a part of a private country music event where I was a featured performer
Mhm.
and I got to perform for a bunch of radio stations and I just had the best time.
Was that the country radio seminar?
It was.
It
Well, so
was.
I performed there as well. This was
Okay.
Charlotte McCoy's Music Row Live.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And Charla, I know her very well, obviously, and I'm hoping to be out at the ACMs coming up. We'll do our broadcast live from there. But Charla is just a wonderful person. God love her. Have you been to her
Absolutely.
like her ranch, her farm? Have you
I
seen that?
never have. I would love to.
Absolutely. I mean, I see pictures and I go, this lady, she's just living the life. She's been through a lot, but she loves helping artists like you, and
She's
it's definitely a good choice.
She's just an amazing person. I really look up to her.
Absolutely. She can put you in the right direction too, if you know what I mean. She could, don't do this, but do this. She knows. She knows the biz. And there's no doubt about
Absolutely.
that. What about your songwriting, Sydney? Tell me a little bit about, how that comes about your creative process.
Well, I write about life experiences. I write about heartbreak. I write about happiness. I feel like heartbreak is always kind of the one that it draws out the best emotions, I
Mhm.
think, because it's so intense. And I actually have a new song that comes out tonight at midnight. It's called You Can't Forget About Me. And it's a song about heartbreak. It's a song about a breakup, but it's kind of a cheeky twist on it.
Mhm. I love that. Does it sound a little bit like this? You don't mind if I play just a little bit of it, do you?
Go for it.
All right, here we go. This is it, Sidney Irving, and give you a little taste of what she's talking about. Here we go.
If I turned right on this road, I'd drive by your house. And it doesn't matter much, but that's what my mind does. And yeah, I wonder sometimes how you think of me. All the memories, good and wholesome, do they bleed? Well, go pretend you don't remember me. We promised friends, one thing will never be. 'Cause we both want sincere apologies. But however hard you try, you can't forget about me.
Wow, 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 wow. So is that hitting radio stations? Are you sending it to radio? It's dropping tonight at midnight. So
You
whoever
know
wants it,
it.
that is so cool. You've got to
Thank
be
you.
so pumped. But it's not the first time you've done that. I mean, you've been
It's
putting out music for a little bit.
I have been. I recorded my first album when I was 14. And that was because I had written all these songs and my family was like, "Well, if you're going to do music, you might as well just learn how to do it by doing it," right? So
Mhm.
I booked a session at a studio in Syracuse called More Sound,
Mhm.
and I did all the songs in one day. I just did them all live, me and my guitar,
Wow.
and picked the best take. But that song in particular was recorded down in Nashville, Tennessee,
Mhm.
and I got to work with just the most amazing band of musicians and producer and engineer and everything. So I'm so thrilled about it, and thank you so much for playing it and giving a little sneak peek.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Tell me what is it like? You as an independent artist, you head to Nashville. You want to get some musicians. I mean, how do you do that? Do you put an ad out there, or do you just go to a studio and say, "This is what I want to do. How much is it going to cost, and who can I get to play with me?" How does that work?
Well, so in this case, I was so blessed because actually Charla put together the band, and she knows the great players and just absolutely amazing people and great people to work with.
Absolutely. And I heard a steel. Did I hear a steel guitar in that?
Well, there's no steel guitar, but there are so many guitar layers. I just love it.
Okay.
I'm a huge
Okay.
guitar fan, so I
Yeah.
was so excited about how it turned out.
Is guitar the only instrument you play?
I'm self-taught at the ukulele, and
Nice.
I was goofing around with the banjo. I learned Led Zeppelin going to California, but that was as far as my banjo career took me.
See, I mean, as we talk here, we talk about Tom Petty, but then again, we talk about Taylor Swift and we talk about country music. It seems like you're well versed in a lot of different genres, or you're bringing it all together.
Well, thank you. Growing up, my family played everything. So it was rock, it was pop, it was country. Obviously, I love country music. I
Mhm.
love the storytelling in country music. And I just think there are so many great pieces from each genre that I like to take and put together in my songs.
That's amazing. It's just what
Thank
you
you.
do is amazing. And can we talk about some of the awards that you've received? I don't know how many people really know this, and the fact that you are from the area here in the Northeast, Central New York area. Can we talk about some of the awards? I know it was the 2024 band album of the year at the ISSA Awards with the songwriters. That is pretty cool. And what does winning an award mean to you, especially this early in your career?
It means a lot. It means a lot that people would take the time to listen to the music and then put in a vote for it, you know? Like
Mhm.
that's big time. So I appreciate it so much, and it's such an honor to even be recognized.
And you get recognized here locally with the Syracuse Area Music Awards. We get the Sammys. Are we going to see you there in a couple of weeks?
Well, so this year I didn't release a record. I'm working on one,
Okay.
but I might pop in.
Yeah,
We'll
you should.
see.
I would love
Are
to
you
see
gonna
you
be
there.
there?
Oh yeah, yeah. I got to do some of the. I forgot. I think I'm presenting the country award, and
Nice.
no,
Nice.
so it'll be
Well, I'll
pretty
see
cool.
you there if I'm
And we
yeah.
did the I hosted, not hosted, but I was part of the press conference that they had just
I
a couple of weeks ago.
I did see that. That was awesome. You did a great job.
Did you see me shaking at the podium? I had too much coffee. It was too early in the morning and I had too much coffee and I'm like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." I was like bouncing off the walls. So,
Well, it's better than falling asleep,
yeah,
so
well, that's true. That's true. Um, so you're endorsed by Breed Love Guitars. So, and how did that come about already, which is cool? And what does it mean to you as an artist to have this partnership? I mean, you get yourself what? I'm sure they supply a guitar.
Yeah, well, Breedlove guitars I've been playing for a long time now.
Okay.
And it's the only acoustic guitar that I play out at my shows. I just love their guitars so much. They're just incredible instruments. And I have one main guitar that I bring everywhere. It's like my safety blanket.
Mhm.
And well, it was a few years ago I made a video out on the ice on a lake in upstate New York, and it was 22 degrees. And I put it up on YouTube, and Breedlove saw it, and they were like, "Anybody who's willing to bring our guitar out in 22-degree weather and play a song."
You got to do what you got to do. I mean, I
Hey,
think that's phenomenal. So you've had the opportunity to play some of the bigger stages. You've done a little bit in Nashville. I know you did with Charla, and it's so cool to get in front of people that could change your life. You talk to the radio people, you talk to the program directors, but what is it like for you to you walk into a radio station at 6 a.m. in the morning because what they call a radio tour, and you got to be wide awake, and you've got to be the best you can be. Is that an exciting feeling for you?
It's absolutely exciting. It's pure adrenaline because you have a certain amount of time on the air and you have to remember to include all your points, but it's so
Mhm,
cool. I
mhm.
love getting to meet everybody and I love getting to talk to people who are real music lovers, like yourself.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. And just because I work in the country format, I love all kinds of music. It depends on my mood. It depends what the weather's like that day. You never know what I'm going to listen to. It gets, and I would imagine you do the same thing. It just kind of bounce around.
Absolutely. I'm a big album person, so I'll
Mhm.
get really into an album and I'll play it and play it and play it. And then I'll move on to another album and play it and play it and play it. Yeah.
So that's what I call the deep tracks, though. You go a little bit further. I mean, yeah, you might have a single that's on there, but you want to go further. You want to hear what else is on that album, which is pretty
I
cool.
I agree. I think I love because an album is made to be an album. So when you listen to it in its entirety, there's a flow to it. And I
Mhm,
think
mhm,
there's
mhm.
something really special and magical about that.
It is. Now, how do you feel right now at this point in your career, you make a lot of your own decisions. Am I correct to say that? But if you're with a major label, I don't know if you'd be able to make a lot of those decisions. Do you want to stay being who you are now? I working with Charlotte is great. She's definitely got the know-how, and like I mentioned minutes ago, that she'll point you in the right direction. But sometimes you get with a bigger company, the corporate, the label, they're going to say, no, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. I mean, I've heard it both ways. How do you feel about that?
For me, my team is totally open to conversations. As of right now, I release all my own music, and I think there's something really cool about that because the digital age allows you to do that. You can
Mhm,
be
mhm.
an artist and not have a label behind you, and you can still release your music and get out and play shows. And so right now, that's what I'm doing. No matter what, I'm still releasing my music and playing shows. But there's always conversations that can happen.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you're on the edge of those conversations. I
Thank you
have a
so
feeling.
much. You're very kind.
No, I'm just being honest because I've seen you perform. I've been out at a lot of these shows. I know I've seen you. I've done presents on stage, and I've seen you in the audience. And I think we saw each other at the fair here not too long ago.
That's
Um,
right, at the Lainey Wilson show.
yes, it was the Laney show. Was that phenomenal or what?
That she just knows how to put on a show. She's awesome.
She just got engaged.
I saw that today. I was on my Instagram and I
Yeah.
saw the pictures. I was like, "Wow, that's amazing."
It is amazing. It is amazing. That show, maybe you could speak a little bit better about this because you're on stage probably a lot more than I am, even though I do a lot of that. But being at the Laney show and getting on that stage at the fair and looking out and seeing nothing but people. Swear to God, I could walk off that stage and walk on heads as far as I could see. What's that feeling like for you as an artist when you get on stage and you see that?
I love that. I think that's just so cool. It's cool
Mhm,
that people come out to the shows. Her crowd was huge. It was
mhm.
absolutely huge. That's my dream to play to a crowd like that and get to hop on a stage and do the music thing, you
Right,
know?
right, right. Just to see that's got to pump you up.
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite things. I love writing and creating, and I love getting up on stage.
Sydney, do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
I do. So
Okay.
I'm you can't hear it anywhere, but I did a summer camp at the Red House
Mhm.
in Syracuse.
Yep.
And so it was rock camp. And so basically at the rock camp, for anyone who doesn't know, you go to the camp and there's all these different kids and they put groups together and they make like a couple bands of kids. And so each one has like a drummer, a bass player, a guitar player, and a singer or something, or a keyboardist. And you write 3 songs, and at the end of the camp, perform your 3 songs, and your friends and family can come and watch.
Mhm.
So, I went to this camp, and I was like, "I'll write a song. whatever. So I went home and I wrote a song and I brought it in the next day and I was like, guys, I wrote a song. And they were like, cool. So we put the drums and bass and keyboards to it. And so at the final concert at the end of the camp, I don't think I told my parents that I was gonna sing a song or I wrote a song. I was just like, yeah, it's gonna be cool. You should come. And I think I was 11 or 12. So they came, and my guitar teacher at the time, Lauren Kraskowski, who is a good friend, and we
Mhm.
still played together, and his wife came. And it came to the time where I was gonna play my song, and I don't know why I thought this was a good idea, but I wore socks and sandals.
Okay.
I thought it was gonna be my thing. It was a bad idea, but there's pictures. So I stepped up to the microphone and I played my song, and then that was
That
it.
was it. Wow.
And the concert ended, and my dad and mom were like, what just happened? And my guitar teacher, Lauren, at the time, whenever I went to lessons, I didn't talk. I was a very, very shy kid.
Mhm.
And he was like, I didn't know you talked. I guess you sing now. He was like, we're gonna do that now.
That's beautiful.
And so I've been singing ever since.
Yeah, what was the name of it?
It was a song called Don't You Dare.
Don't You Dare.
And
Okay.
it was about a breakup, which I'd never experienced, but I'd listened to enough music
Mhm.
about
Mhm.
heartbreak and watched
Mhm.
enough movies that I made up a scenario.
Mhm. Mhm. If you could perform anywhere in the world, where would that be, Sydney?
That's hard. Honestly, I would love to go to Europe and perform. That would be so fun. I really want to play at Red Rocks. I feel like a lot of people say that, but that's such an
It's
iconic venue.
phenomenal.
I want to
Phenomenal.
play the Ryman. That would be awesome.
Well, I can see that happening pretty soon. I mean,
Well,
you
thank
just
you.
get yourself to Nashville and get out there and do that. And hopefully next week, when I'm going to the Ryman next week. We have an event going on, the Country Radio Seminar. So we get to go to the Ryman and have lunch, and all of and Warner Music Group, they do the whole lunch with all their artists, which is pretty cool. So they all come out and they sing one or two songs uh,
Wow, that's
each.
awesome.
So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Do
It
you
is
know who's
pretty
going to
cool.
be there?
Uh I do.
Cool, cool.
I mean, Dirk Bentley. I don't know. There's so many. Um, I'd have to look it up. I can let you know, but there is a long list.
Okay.
The Brothers Osborne, Dirk Bentley, just all of most of their artists, Keith Urban, Vince Gill. I can go
Wow.
on and on. And what they do is they come out and like Dirks has got a new song dropping at midnight tonight as well.
Ooh,
I'm sure he's going to play that next week. So all the radio people hear it, and yeah,
that's amazing.
and it's
Do
called
you
She
have a
Hates Me. Go ahead.
Oh, that's a good Valentine's Day release.
Exactly. What do you think? They're putting it out tonight, and tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and it's called She Hates Me. I love it. What were
It's
you going to say?
it's
I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you have a favorite place to go when you go to Nashville?
Do I have a favorite place? I like to get out of town.
Ooh,
I
okay.
like to go to like the Station Inn, which is
Mm.
on the outskirts. You get out a little bit. Nashville has become it's a great, great, great city. But you and I both know so many people go to Nashville, and there's certain areas where everybody congregates. You go down on Broadway where Tootsie's is, and all Jack's Barbecue, and you get the stage. You get all those. It's mobbed down there. If you're going to go down there, you have to go down there like maybe 11 or 12 early in the day, and you still get to hear the
Absolutely.
music. But if you wait till night, it gets crazy. It turns into bachelorette parties and all this crazy stuff going on, and it's just But if you want to, you need to get out of town. You need to go to places like the Station Inn. Now, I have never been to the Bluebird, but I got an invite from an artist to attend their show at the Bluebird next week. So I don't know if I'm going
Oh,
to go or not, but because I have so many other things going on, but it was nice of her to send an invite. So
I think that's a must go.
I'm kind of thinking about that. Have you ever been there?
I want to play there so bad. That's
Mhm.
another place I would absolutely love to play. It's a
So we
goal.
have a goal to get you on the stage at the Ryman and to get you into the Bluebird.
Okay,
I'll
yes.
be I'll
I will.
I'll be talking about you next week. We'll see what
Well,
we can do.
thank you.
But Charlotte's got a lot of say in that as well. So
Absolutely.
yeah. I see Ron Ray is on here. Ron, you know Ron.
Hi,
Yes.
Ron. It's good to
Ron is
see you.
awesome. He is awesome. Um, what do you want your fans to know about you?
I want my friends to know that at the end of the day, I appreciate all that they do listening to my music and coming out to the shows and hanging out
Mhm.
because I think what is so special about the people who I've gotten to meet through music is that they're music lovers and they love lyrics. For me, the lyrics are the most important part. So I love lyric lovers and all the
Mhm.
people who I've gotten to meet, they're always like big into lyrics.
Because it's about their lives. It's about them. If you have a song and they listen to it and they go, my God, she's singing about me. I went through that type of breakup, or this happened to me, or I mean, that's what that's what country music is. It touches your life. It's songs about real life. Even though maybe you haven't experienced some of that, but you've seen it, you've heard it, you know what I mean? So you write a song about it. Next thing you know, it's like, wow, they're singing about me. And if you can make that connection, it's you've got a forever fan. So
I agree. Well, I always feel like music, once it's released, it's totally just for everybody else to take their interpretation of it and connect it to their lives. And there's something so special about when you can release a song and someone can
mhm,
relate to it with what they're going through. I think that's so beautiful
mhm. Tell
because
me about oh, go ahead.
people aren't all that different.
No, no, that's right. That's true. Tell me about you had the opportunity to open up for Martina McBride and Chris Young and Jesse McCartney. Tell me a little bit about those experiences and how did you get involved with that?
Well, that was at Speedy Fest in Binghamton,
Okay.
and it's such a cool festival.
Hmm.
And I'm so blessed to have had those opportunities. Just absolutely amazing artists that I love their music and they just know how to put on an incredible show. We, my band and I performed, we opened up for Chris Young,
Hmm.
which was so cool. He is just a legend, you know,
Hmm.
and he's got such amazing music. Martina McBride was so special because it was during kind of like everything was opening back up. And so I didn't get a chance to talk to her, but I was really just totally floored because she allowed me to sit side stage while she performed. One of her people came over and they said, "Hey, if you would like to sit side stage," Martina said that that's okay. And I was like, "Absolutely." And I got to watch her perform from side stage.
And what do you watch for when you watch somebody like a Martina? And by the way, I've had her on the podcast. If you go back a little bit, you'll see the interview, and it's pretty cool. But
Wow.
um, what is it? What do you watch for as an artist and a newer artist? And you're watching somebody like a Martina McBride. What is it that you're watching for?
I like to watch how she moves on stage. I like to watch the way that she speaks to the audience between
Mhm,
songs. She's got a very eloquent way with words, and everybody watching her is just like eyes glued to her. She's such a
mhm, mhm.
star.
And what a voice, might add. For a
Yeah.
little woman, a big voice. Just golden. Hey, did you meet her husband, John?
I did not. No, it was like everything was very like
Yeah,
go to the stage, play your set, and just make sure. I mean, obviously, I mean, she's a performer, so she's taking care of her health and making sure that
100%.
she doesn't get under the weather.
Yeah, no, exactly. If you do go to another Martina McBride show, more than likely behind the soundboard, that'll be her husband. That's John.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, not kidding. Um, we uh, it's not about me, it's about you, but another trip to Nashville, we went to Martina's house. We
Wow.
had, get this, we had what they call martinis with Martina.
Wow, that's so fun.
And it was so cool because we were able to hang out at the house, hung out around the pool. Her husband, John, has one of the biggest Beatles collections you'll ever see. He took us down into the basement, and it was just all Beatles, the records, album after album after album, just crazy, crazy
Wow.
stuff. Yeah.
Beatles stuff is pretty sought after, so that's
Yeah. He's got quite
really
the
cool.
collection. Yeah. I'm sure, doesn't just let anybody down there, but
Yeah.
this is a whole different event, which is kind of crazy. You said your parents have a skating rink?
Yeah, Black Mamba Skate Park, like the snake. And it was opened up. I grew up all around it. So my mom tells me a story all the time that when I was little, I was like little, like 3 years old, and I wanted to play Barbie dolls. And the boys who would come to the skate park, they would play Barbies with me on the ramps.
So you're talking not a roller skating, it's you got the ramps, the flips, and the all the extreme sports.
So it's both now. We have a roller rink and we have a skate park now.
Very
But it
cool.
started as a very small skate shop with some
Mhm.
ramps in the back room.
How very cool. Were you into extreme sports at all?
No,
Okay.
not even close. I tried to skateboard
Okay.
and that was it. I
You're no
tried.
Tony Hawk.
No, Tony Hawk,
No.
absolutely not. Well, I got into guitar, I couldn't hurt my hands.
No, exactly, and yet look where you are now, and you're doing very well, but, yeah, I married into the family of Dave Mara, who, was the BMX bike rider. He's no longer with us, but,
Oh, yeah.
he has the extreme sports on more gold medals than anybody,
Wow.
holds all the records for that, but, it was crazy.
That's
That's why I was
that's
asking.
amazing.
Yeah, he's got his own, well, he's gone now, but, there's a park named after him in North Carolina, which
Oh,
is
that's so
pretty cool.
nice.
Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? Talk to me.
I see myself playing lots of shows. I wanna play all the time. I already am, but I could totally
Mhm.
play more. And I want to release lots of music. I actually am writing a lot right now, and I can't wait to get back in the studio.
I love that. And how do you handle criticism? Because you and I both know whether it's doing what I do or doing what you do, everybody thinks there's an expert. Some people will say you suck, other people are going to say you're great. How do you handle criticism?
I think the biggest thing is to look at it and say music is totally subjective, you
Hmm.
know? So some people are going to like it, some people aren't going to like it. It's the same way that some people like ketchup and some people like mustard, you know? It's
True.
just kind of what it is. I do think that when you have like music that you write and you put so much heart into, it definitely is it's really close to your heart. So if someone isn't totally the kindest about it, it does
Hmm.
hurt your feelings
Hmm.
a little bit, but you have to look at it like it's totally subjective and it's not cool for people to be mean, but all you can do is just put niceness into the world and hope that you get it back.
Hmm. How, if you could collaborate with anybody, I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but I think this is so interesting. If you could collaborate with anybody, who would that be?
Can I say Post Malone?
Yes, I was
I
kind
would
of
say
hoping you would.
Post Malone or Midland. I love Midland's
Oh yeah,
music.
I did see that you love Midland. I've This is funny because another Nashville trip. I don't. You've had a chance to hang out with these guys, right? Midland.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I Yeah, I got tickets and VIP passes for my 21st birthday,
Mhm.
and there's a whole story that goes along with it. I've just been such a huge fan of them forever,
I am a big fan.
and
Go ahead.
yeah, their songwriting's amazing. So, anyways, for the past few years, I always include one of their songs in my set list, a song called 14 Gears, which is one of my all-time favorites. But fast forward, we're at the VIP event, and I introduced myself to the lead singer, Mark, and I
Mhm.
shared that I'm a singer-songwriter too, and I cover some of their songs when I play out. And he looked right at me and he said, "Well, why don't you come up and do one then?" And I thought my heart was gonna jump right out of my chest. I jumped up on stage and they handed me a beautiful guitar. We got right down to business, and the Midland boys backed me up and we played 14 years together.
Oh my god, how nervous were you?
Absolutely shaking in my boots. I was running on pure adrenaline, but it was the most surreal moment yet. And just when I thought it couldn't get any bigger, uh, the guys from Midland appeared to be blown away at my arrangement of their song 14 Gears. And Mark said, "Hey, do you want to come up later tonight at the big show and play it again with the full band?" I'm just so grateful to them. They're
That
such
is so nice.
kind and wonderful people.
And they are. But the first time I met them, not really knowing much about them. It was in Nashville. Got into an elevator, and these guys got in the elevator, and they're all dressed weird. I said they're like out of the 70s, the bell bottoms and all this stuff. I'm going, oh my God, who are these guys? Then all of a sudden we're at the show, and they go, ladies and gentlemen, Midland. And I go, oh my God, those are the guys I was just in the elevator with, going, oh my, what are they? Who are these guys? The way they were dressed. You know what I'm talking about. And anybody
Yep.
that's seen Midland, they're a little different, but they're awesome. Man, they're so good.
They're awesome. I think they're some of the most stylish people
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, they made that known.
Oh yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So anyways, this is great that we've had this opportunity to sit and talk a little bit tonight, but you don't see yourself moving to Nashville anytime soon.
We're talking about it. I would absolutely love to. It'd be a dream.
When you say we're talking about it, is that like the family, your dad and everybody?
Yeah, my team, my family, the whole group of them.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Now tell me a little bit about your team. For example, who does your socials? Do you do that?
Yep. So I'm an independent artist right now. So
Right.
I run my social media, and
Okay.
my team is so wonderful and so helpful and
Awesome.
putting all the pieces together. But I run my social media, and so that's me. So if you comment, it's me commenting right back.
I love it. I love it. That's good. And do you welcome people to chime in on Facebook and maybe Twitter and TikTok if somebody leaves a comment that you welcome that, correct?
Absolutely.
That's so
I do a live stream every week on Tuesdays at
Oh, okay.
7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And I get on and play 3 songs. It's called A-sides, B-sides, and covers. So I play 2 of my songs, and then I put one of my favorite cover songs at the end, and we talk about whatever people want to talk about. Last week, or this past week, we talked about dessert. I'm a huge dessert lover, so we talked about where the best Half Moon cookies come from.
All right. Where?
I think Harrison Bakery.
I'm going to go with Gaddis.
Oh,
Gaddis
okay.
Bakery.
Green Hills makes a mean
Green Hills makes
Half
some
Moon.
mean donuts and cookies. I'm telling you're right there. You're right there.
Yep.
But they're like out of the way for me. So it's easier for me to either go to Harrison or I can scoot over to Gaddis Bakery.
I mean, sometimes you got to take the trip.
You gotta. I know. You got. What else do you like to do in Central New York? If you're not playing music, what else? What else do you do?
Well, I don't know if this is like a Central New York thing, but I've gotten really heavily into making smoothies. Like I've made it an art. So I made a strawberry smoothie the other day, and it turned out very good. I also made a cherry almond smoothie, which was pretty good. I find these recipes online,
I was
and
going
then
to ask you to get them. Okay.
I tried to stray the other day, and I was like, I'm gonna make a peach smoothie. It was a disaster, so bad.
Mm. They sound so good, though. I mean, strawberry. I get a strawberry smoothie from Panera every once in a while, but
See,
they're so good.
that's why I started, because I'm kind of a cheapskate. So I was like, I don't want to pay that money. I'll just make it myself.
No, that's cool. That's cool. And you find the recipes online. That's a great hobby. So,
It's kind of a nerdy hobby, but
I don't think it's nerdy. I think it's healthy. I think
well,
it's
thank
cool
you.
that you're doing that. Do you work out at all or anything
I
like that?
do work out. I
Good for
do,
you.
like if you do the videos online and you just follow along with the video, I do a thing called V-Shred,
Okay.
and the gentleman that runs it, his name is Vince, and he's always like, yeah, push-ups, and you're like, yeah, I love push-ups.
That's crazy, but it's good stuff. Definitely good stuff. Sidney Irving's been with us here tonight on Skip Happens, and we're actually neighbors. And I'm so proud to say that I know her because she's from upstate New York. So that's where this podcast is. That's where I'm on the air every afternoon on the Wolf here in Syracuse. So it's good to, we have great talent in this area. We have so much great talent, and you've been recognized for that. So, and you're continuing to grow. I'm pretty soon, I know it's going to be, you'll be in our powers on radio. And when I say a power, those are like the best songs. There's like 5 or 6 of those and they rotate every few hours. So that means you made it. Like for example, you could be in that category with Post Malone. Just saying. Did
Well,
you go to
thank
the
you.
Post Malone show?
I did go to the Post Malone show. Actually, fun fact, the
Okay.
drummer that's touring with Post Malone, his name's Phil Lawson,
Yep.
and he actually played the drums on my new single, You Can't Forget About Me,
What?
and my past two releases as well.
How cool.
Oh, it's so cool. And he's such a talent. So it was so cool to to see him rock out on stage with Post Malone.
And that's the other thing. When you go and you get these musicians to be on your single when you cut it in the studio, I don't think people realize that when you see them and when these, like, for example, Post Malone goes out on a concert tour, that they'll take some of these musicians with them. They need a drummer, they need a guitar player, and that's when they're not doing that, they're doing stuff in the studio. That's how they make their money. So how
Right.
that is pretty cool. That is,
Yeah,
I,
it was so cool. He posted on his Instagram, "I'm going on tour with Posty." I was like, that's so cool. Like that's so awesome. And it just goes to show you that like Nashville,
Mhm.
it's where the pros are, Like I just can't believe like there's so many talented people in that town. It's
So many.
such an honor to work with any of them.
Mhm. What was the name of the studio that you went into to cut
It's
the
called Love
single?
Shack.
Love Shack.
Hmm.
Was that up on Music Row?
Hmm.
Oh, cool. Very
Just off, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. You had the best people with you too. Sidney Irving, so good to talk to you. It's so good to see you. I'm kind of all over the place tonight. I'm all giddy. I don't know why. It's just is. It's because we're neighbors, and I think, oh my God, we know each other. We really know each other. I really got to be on my A game. And when I think like that, it doesn't really happen. But I
Well,
know I've seen you
thank
out and about. Hmm?
yeah, well, thank you so much for having me today. It's truly an honor to talk with you tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it goes right back to you. So, and
Thank you.
we've got to get together. We got to do some radio stuff. I'd love to put you in front of some of the Wolf listeners. The radio station is kicking ass. So, to get you out there, I mean, that would be so cool. We'll have to talk about that. We have a lot of great shows coming up. And do you know Muscadine Bloodline? They're coming. Do you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I follow them on Instagram. I love their music.
Yep. Yep. And plus, I had them on the podcast.
No
So,
way.
yeah, so look at you get bored, or anybody that's watching this, if you go to Skip Happens on YouTube and just go back through the videos, let me see that you'll see Martina, you'll see Muscadine, Nate Smith, Lainey Wilson. I
Oh,
can,
yeah.
yeah. So like I said in the beginning, that's what I love about this, because it's just a conversation, and whether it's independents, whether it's the big stars signed with major contracts, we get them all on Skip Happens. So that's cool. And
That's
they
awesome.
reach out. They reach out. Yeah.
I was watching the other night. I didn't see I which ones did I watch?
Just
Man,
the
I'm
other night.
blanking. I'm nervous.
No, no, don't be nervous. Just the other night I had Eden Delia. Eden Delia.
I watched Eden. I
She
watched
was
Lainey
13.
Gardner.
Laney, love
Yep.
Laney. Yeah, she's coming back on, by the way.
Oh,
And
cool.
and we'll let everybody know the exact date when I firm it up. But yeah, that. And yeah, there's so many good people out there. Laney Gardner was just phenomenal. And now she is signed to a major label, which is
Wow, good for
cool.
her.
Yeah, and she's doing a showcase next week. So I'll get the chance to check it out and see how it goes. So
That's amazing. I love her voice.
oh my God, so good, so good. Yeah, just look through. Yeah, anybody watching this, or you can go through there's so many videos on there now. So
That's what I'm gonna do all night. I'm just gonna be watching all of
well,
them.
just make sure you subscribe. I need to get my subscribers up. That's what I need to do. But Sidney Irving, you're awesome, young lady. You are such a talent, so much ahead of you. It's a great road. It's a lot of work, but I can see you doing it all. And I know someday we're going to go. I knew her when she lived in Marcellus. I know this. Jennifer went to school. I'm looking at a note. Hang on and see if I can bring it up here. I went to school with your dad.
Oh, no way. Hi, Jennifer.
Yep, yep. And let's see here. Of course, Ron chime. Ooh, where are you, Ron? She's one great talent, no doubt. Let's see
Thank
what
you,
else.
Ron.
Yeah, I'm clicking through these really quick here. Awesome. And then let's see here. It's funny because I can Got to run. We'll check Sydney piece. I have no. Oh, okay. All right. Cool. But see, even with this, you might get a new fan, 2 or 2 or 3 or 4.
That'd be amazing. Thank
You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us tonight. Before we let you go, where can somebody look at your music? Let's say they're not from the area and they go, I've got to check this woman out, this artist.
Well, first, I just want to say thank you again for having me. It's been a pleasure talking with you today. And you can find more about me at my website, sydneyirvingmusic.com. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok at Sidney Irving Music.
Just Google. Just go to Google. Type it in.
Google
You're good
it
to
up.
go. Yeah, Google it up. Sidney Irving, thank you again for joining us. I want you to stay right there. Thank you for watching, everybody. And make sure you check her out, check out her music, and get to some of her shows. I'm sure you can find them all on the website. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Skip Happens. Skip Clark, your host. Have a great night, everybody. Peace out. See you.